Welcome to our series where we discuss key things to consider while selling your technology business. I'm Sid Nair. In my role as National Technology M&A Leader, I explore how we can bring innovative solutions to our clients as they look to navigate the complex world of M&A. In today's session, we focus on tax credits and government grants, which are important sources of funding for technology businesses in Canada. To talk about this, I have with me Mo Mostafaei, who is EY's British Columbia Technology Market Leader and also leads our Business Tax Incentives Group in Western Canada. So Mo, let's get started. Almost all tech companies leverage tax credits like SR&DE to fuel innovation in their business. Why does SR&DE matter at all when you're looking at a potential acquisition?
Sid, that's a very good question. To be honest, there are two aspects into this. There's the technological aspect and there's the financial aspect. On the technological side, it is kind of like a stamp that shows that these guys are doing innovative work. On the financial side, that's a revenue stream that can continue even after the transaction. But there's one thing to consider though. After the transactions, if the company loses the status, like a Canadian controlled private corporation status, that SR&DE might become like a bad SR&DE. So it becomes like non-refundable. So that's something that definitely needs to be considered.
Mo, just a follow-up on that, just to make sure that people on the session understand this. Could you explain the difference between good SR&DE and bad SR&DE?
For sure. So a good SR&DE means that they get the enhanced rate. So if a company is a CCPC, Canadian Controlled Private Corporation, they get the enhanced rate from federal government and it is refundable. So that's a 35% refundable tax credit. If the acquisition goes and the company becomes a foreign-owned company or a public company, that can become a bad SR&DE. So the return goes down to 15%. And at the same time, it might not be refundable. In that case, if the company doesn't own tax, then they cannot use the tax credit.
One point I would like to add here is on the drafting of the language in a letter of intent. Any condition that reflects a binding intent to acquire a CCPC corporation, even if it is in the future, could lead to an immediate loss of CCPC status for the sellers. Mo, what about other incentives and grants? Why are they important to consider either during or post a transaction?
That's a good question as well, Sid. To be honest, it is very similar to SR&DE. The only difference is the payment structure. So for example, IRAP, they have the payment structure that happens every quarter. And some of these grants, it relies on the company's structure. So to be honest, we as our SR&DE team work closely with our M&A team for the buyers and the sellers to understand the impact of the transactions. So they know if the payment will continue after the transactions or there will be some changes after that.
Thanks for being here today, Mo. Appreciate you joining us and sharing your insights.
It was a pleasure, Sid. Thanks for having me.
A robust understanding of SR&DE and other government grants is critical for sellers to know how an acquisition can impact their future tax credits. EY has a specialized Business Tax Incentives Group that works closely with the M&A team to make sure that our clients can assess risks from a potential transaction.